All right, welcome everybody to the Kingdom Politics Podcast. I am Pastor Will, and with me, as always, is Dr. Michael Huffman. How are you today, sir?
Confused as ever.
That's 3 weeks in a row now.
I practiced that coming up the road.
Yeah, I'm going to have a catchphrase now.
Yeah, you got to come up with one.
We are going to take a small break from the amendments because we will be doing nothing but amendments for a while and talk about Islam today and Sharia law and how it's finding its way to Virginia. But before we do that, we wanted to give a quick plug for some events we have coming up. The month of September, we are all over the place, and we will be speaking on the amendments. We are having Christ and Culture Nights, and they are beginning next week, September 3rd at 7 p.m. We're going to be at River of Life Church. It's the youth building. That's in Spotsylvania?
Yes, right off Patriot Highway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Spotsylvania. Sorry, sometimes I get confused with the area because everything is so close.
But doesn't the because it's one of these places where the county of Spotsylvania goes into the city of Fredericksburg.
Correct. It's very confusing.
And don't trust me. That's almost like, from what I hear, if you are in the county of Spotsylvania and the city of Fredericksburg is almost like the North and the South in the Civil War.
Well, Stafford County comes into Fredericksburg too.
I reckon it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're technically just at the border of it.
Yeah, I don't know
where we are now.
I don't even know
I think
what
when
we
you
fall
cross the
under.
bridge, I think when you cross the bridge coming in, you cross from Stafford.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're right there.
We're in international water.
Yeah, we are. We're immigrants.
Anything goes. So September 3rd, we're
Did you
going to
have
be...
your shots?
No, I don't go to the doctor. Just the eye doctor. September 3rd, we're at River of Life Church. We'll be over in the youth building. September 12th, we are going to be out in the Northern Neck, and we are going to be, it's at 4 p.m., September 12th. If you're out that way, Kilmarnock, Virginia is where we'll be, and it is at the Lancaster Community Library. And from my understanding, I think it's on the second floor, but I'm sure you'll be able to find us. That's a TPUSA Faith event. So is September 3rd, by the way. Both of those are TPUSA events. And then we have September 17th. We'll be doing another Christ and Culture for the abortion amendment. Well, it's really all the amendments, but we will be September 17th. We'll be at Benchmark Baptist Fellowship at 7 p.m. And then the very following night, September 18th, we'll be at Crossroads Baptist Church. That's the 18th at 7 p.m. And then we have another one at Life Church. What's the city? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Mechanicsville.
Thank you. Life Church in Mechanicsville, October 2nd, which is a Friday at 7 p.m. So we'll be at all these places, and we'll be presenting on the amendments. But more importantly, there'll be time for question and answer with myself and Dr. Huffman, and we'll have people there as well that will have handouts and things like that to help equip you to go out into the world and talk about these amendments and try to get the word out. So, you got anything on those, sir?
No, you covered them.
So that is where we will be for the next month. There'll be more dates added. There's more calls happening. So everybody that helps us out, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
We couldn't do all this without a whole bunch of people behind us.
Amen. We got a good crowd behind. We got a good team behind us.
Yeah, we really do. All right, today we're going to talk about, like I said, we're going to take a short break from the amendments, but if you follow what we're doing, we address that a lot. And that's what we'll be doing for the next month, probably, at least at live events. We're going to talk about Sharia law, Islam, what's going on in Dearborn, Michigan, and how all of this, how Virginia ties into all of this. But I saw a thing on the internet the other day. It said, we're fighting Muslims in Iran, but electing them here
Yeah.
in America. We're gonna open with a clip with Pastor Lawrence Sewell. He's awesome. I got to meet him one time. I'm sure he doesn't know who I am, and that's totally okay. But I got to hear him speak, and if you want to hear somebody get fired up about Jesus, good gracious, that guy can preach. He's really good. But you know, a lot of times on this podcast, but other shows as well, people call out the church and say pastors aren't standing for biblical beliefs. I wanted to play this video and show you what it looks like when somebody does. And so this is from Fox News. So let's roll Pastor Lorenzo.
But you're only 1% of this nation. We are not a nation of Muslims. We are a nation of Christians. We are one nation under God, indivisible, the God of the Bible, the God of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the God in whom we serve. I want you to prove to me we're not under Sharia law. Will you denounce O'Reilly? Will you denounce Sharia law? Will you denounce Sharia law? Will you denounce Sharia law?
Love that part.
Hillsdale. Will you renounce Sharia law? Will you renounce Sharia law? America, we have lost this city. This is a city that is no longer under American laws. We are under Sharia law. Not having enough is enough.
He's a little fired up. And he should
He's
be.
like that all the time.
Yeah.
So when we say that pastors need to stand up, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a city council meeting in Dearborn, Michigan, that he's speaking at, and he goes right at them because you only get I don't know their rules, but you don't have a lot of time.
No, and the council meetings I've been to and the board of supervisors meetings I've been to, they usually give you about 3 minutes. Like I'll be at the board of supervisors meeting in Louisa on the 21st. No, than the previous Monday before that, and I will have 3 minutes to cover all 3 amendments. Good luck.
I can't even do it in an hour.
No, my wife says I can't introduce myself in 3 minutes. So
That's because you have so many titles.
well, I probably just stick with the chief bottle washer.
All right, let's dive into Dearborn, Michigan, and Islam. You know, here's my question for you, and we didn't talk about this beforehand, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Live on YouTube. What in the world is it going to take for the church to stand up? I was thinking about this. Abortion, a lot of churches are silent. LGBTQ, whatever it is, stuff, a lot of churches are silent. We don't want to get into politics and this, and we're not even talking about politics now.
Right.
We're talking about a rival ideology that claims that Jesus is not the Son of God.
Right. So
So what is it going to take the church to stand up? Because there's plenty of churches who won't speak against Islam.
the sad reality is, Will, what is it going to take for the church to wake up is a good old-fashioned persecution. And I don't say that lightly.
Yeah.
The churches have gotten comfortable. And what it's going to take is going to take some good old-fashioned persecution, Christians dying for their faith, Christians being imprisoned for their faith. Why? Why is the old adage you learn in church history, the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church.
Mm-hmm. Tertullian.
The reason why we are in the shape we are in is because the church has become infiltrated by unsaved people. Because the gospel has been so watered down, has been made to make the ungodly comfortable, and so therefore the ungodly come into the church, and they just infiltrate. They don't become more godly. They infiltrate and permeate their ungodliness on the church. The church gets weak. The church gets lazy. But what persecution does, those fair weather Christians, this Jesus stuff is pretty good for heaven, but I'm not going to give up my life here on earth for him.
Yeah.
And so what they end up doing is when persecution comes, they leave. The church gets stronger because the church gets holy, and that's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
Because we're too comfortable. Not only are we too comfortable politically, but we're too comfortable, most importantly, spiritually. Because, we live in the land of the free, and while I'm thankful for that, I really, really am. The fact is, that actually is what is being used against us and making us lazy Christians and making us not want to take a stand.
Yeah.
And just have the attitude, que sera, sera, whatever will be, and not, and it just makes for weak people. But it starts at the pulpit. It starts at the pulpit with preachers who preach a gospel that does not include repentance towards God and faith toward our Lord Jesus Christ. It's the gospel of Joel Osteen that says, God has a wonderful plan for your life.
Yeah.
It is the gospel of so many other people that just preach a gospel to build crowds, not fill heaven, but to fill an auditorium.
Yeah, and the two things, we're
Our church, your church and my church, would be much, much bigger if we changed our message. Because everyone wants to go to a social club. And if you and I changed our churches to social clubs, our churches would be much, much bigger.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, the way I look at it is Christ died for us. And we've done what? Nothing. We
No.
get his righteousness. We're sinners. He does all the heavy lifting for us. And then when it gets a little bit hard, we run.
Mm-hmm.
And we say, well, maybe it all goes to the same God. No, trust me, it doesn't.
No,
Allah is not the same as the Lord.
not at all.
Islam is not the same. And it is Christians that don't stand up. As much as I love that clip, and I've watched it like 2 or 3 times now, there should have been a line of pastors behind him. Now, he's a great speaker, so maybe he's the one who does the speaking, because that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I wouldn't have been able to do it like he does. I've heard him preach for 40 minutes, and
He's wide open like that the entire time.
the whole time. I can't do that at all. And then after he finished preaching, he came down and was putting hands on like everybody and praying for them. So, that's just the way he is. So I get it if he was the one speaking, but there should have been a line of pastors behind him
Yeah.
to support him.
Yes.
And why is he the one to stand up? Not that he shouldn't, but he shouldn't do it alone.
No.
And that's the sad reality is, and this is, we're going to talk about Dearborn, but this is happening all over the place. This is happening in Texas. This is happening in Virginia. This is happening in really red states. And so let's go through his allegations. Are they under Sharia law or not? Legally speaking, no, they're not. Now, is there selective enforcement going on? That's a different question. And that's a different answer. And that's what we're going to get to with Virginia, because the answer to that is probably. You have to understand the different levels of Islam. So there's a couple different levels of it. And if you look at the UK, I tell people all the time, pay attention to what's going on in Europe, because it comes across the ocean.
Yeah.
Throughout history, it's come across the ocean. And they're ahead of us with this, but America is catching ground in terms of number of Muslims, in terms of what type of Islam. They always come with Islam means peace. It doesn't mean peace
No.
at all. they don't change their culture at all to fit ours. And what they're doing is consolidating power, getting votes, because they all vote the same.
Mhm.
Because if a Christian pastor stands up and says, you got to go vote for this guy, it's not going to go well. But imam can do it all the time. In fact, they do it all the time. An imam will tell you exactly who to vote for,
Yeah.
and they'll go do it.
Yep.
So already, before we even get into some of these claims that we have, there's already selective enforcement. Because a Christian church will have, whether you do it or not, there's definitely going to be a discussion whether you should say to vote for somebody, at a minimum. There's no discussion there.
Right.
So they're getting preferential treatment in Dearborn. We have Jake Lang just recently. I don't really know him. I guess he was I guess he's speaking out against Islam and going different places and doing it. Whether you agree with him or not. And I tried to find the video. That was a good video, but it was hard to find a good video of it. But he was chased through the streets by Muslims in Dearborn, and rocks were thrown at him, punches were thrown. They eventually arrested 3 people. Whether they get charged, prosecuted or not, that's not for us to say. But there was way more than 3 people.
Yeah.
Way more. But here's the big ones that we can definitely look at and say that there's selective enforcement. The first one is the noise complaints from the mosques. So if you've never been to a Muslim country, and by the way, I wish more people went to. I've been to a Muslim country, and it's not what people think. It's bad, particularly if you're a woman. And so, anyway, if you go to a Muslim country, you can hear the prayer broadcasts to the city, whatever city you're in, throughout the day. It's a little overwhelming the first time you see it because everyone stops what they're doing. But they're doing it in Dearborn, and they have a noise ordinance that begins. No loudspeakers are allowed before 7 a.m. So, yeah, we got it up there on the screen. Yeah, so between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m., no outdoor loudspeakers. Well, guess who has loudspeakers before 7 a.m.?
Yeah.
Mosques.
Yeah.
And residents complained because churches, businesses, and private residences are all held to the standard of the noise ordinance. Mm-hmm. And tons of places have noise ordinance, by the way. My neighborhood has a noise ordinance. You can't, if you're having, like we just got our house redone not that long ago, like the roof and the siding and everything. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't start till a certain time.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of nice to have a noise ordinance sometimes.
And that's the purpose of it, right?
Yeah.
Like the most rude thing in all the world, Will, is to live in a neighborhood. I live in a neighborhood. You probably live in a neighborhood in Fairfax. You probably live in a neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
One of the most rude things you can do is to crank up a mower at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning.
Yeah. Doesn't happen in my house. I mean, can't. You literally get a fine.
Yeah, yeah. Unless
you're
cutting grass around the mosque.
Unless you're at a mosque.
Yeah.
So these mosques got held to a different standard.
Yeah.
Why? Perhaps because all the city council are Muslims.
Yep.
I do like in the clip, too, where Pastor Lorenzo says he's calling people's names, and then he gets to the third one, and he doesn't even say his name. He just goes, I already know. That's right. Moves to the next guy.
Well, I thought it was interesting is one of them he said about one of them, and you went to Hillsdale. Well, that's where I go to law school.
Yeah.
That's where I went to law school, was Hillsdale. So, I mean, I don't know what that guy's thinking or that gal's thinking who's on the committee, and he went to Hillsdale College.
No. Charlie said it best. Islam is not compatible with the West.
No. And see, the Americans have bought into this lie that there is because I remember being told when I first started studying Islam 25, 30 years ago, I remember being told that, well, there is a Middle Eastern version of Islam, and then there's the American version of Islam.
Yeah.
And the American Muslim, they don't agree with the Middle Eastern Muslims. In fact, they also have two separate copies of the Quran. I'm finding more and more that, while there may be Muslims we're not painting with a broad brush here at Kingdom Politics, and while we understand that there probably are Muslims that are peaceable, we're talking the religion as a whole.
Yeah.
We're not painting with a broad brush of every single person. Because you may have a Muslim in America who doesn't agree with terrorism. But the reason why they don't agree with terrorism, because they really don't know what their religion teaches.
No, it's a very violent.
Yes, it is very violent.
All right, let's get into an actual selective enforcement. This happened way back in 2010. This is how long this has been going on. And people need to pay attention. Google how many mosques are in Texas if you have a moment with your day. But in 2010, Dearborn police arrested and prosecuted 3 Christian missionaries for guess what they were doing?
Giving out tracts.
Giving out tracts. Giving out evangelism pamphlets or whatever you want to label the gospel tracts. They're arrested and prosecuted for that.
Yeah, that's not...
in America in
not,
2010.
That's not selective enforcement, is it?
Not at all. Now, they're eventually acquitted, and they also sued the city. The city had to apologize and settle the lawsuit.
There
But
never should have been a lawsuit, Will.
no, you shouldn't have to sue to speak against, and that's what we'll get into about Islam and the Quran and Muhammad. And you can't. Well, let's just finish the story. So the city had to apologize and settle the lawsuit. But again, who's enforcing what?
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, I've often thought about, you hear all these people talk about the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, and the left loves to use that. Of course, they misinterpret it, but they love to use that. But I've often thought, and how they use that is to keep Christianity out of schools, keep Christianity out of the government and all those things. So as well, that's the violation of the Establishment Clause. And then I've often wondered, I wonder what your answer would be if a Muslim wanted to start a Bible club. Oh,
they let it happen.
Yeah, exactly. But so why doesn't that violate the Establishment Clause? No, it doesn't. It's not that starting a Christian club violates the Establishment Clause. It violates your point of view. It violates your philosophy. Violates your preference. You're okay with it because you hate Jesus. That's the violation in your mind. But it's okay to have any other religion to have a club because they're not the offensive one.
Yeah. It's just like when they had all of those college protests, the Free Palestine nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
When that was going on, like, give me a break. Google the border between Palestine and Egypt. There's a reason why they don't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
They
let me ask you this question,
yeah.
Will. And I know we're going to bring this up, but let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you think that there is a hatred and a prejudice in America toward Islam?
A prejudice?
Yeah. I mean, do you think that by and large, do you think that Americans seek out Muslims to be malicious and hateful to them?
No, I think we have a fundamental misunderstanding that because I don't agree with the ideology that Islam teaches, that somehow I'm hateful.
That's it. That's it. That's yeah. That's the basic definition of, that. Well, that's how they're interpreting
Correct.
our disagreement.
But let's lay down the ideologies on a piece of paper
Yeah.
and see which one you'd rather follow.
Yeah.
Would you rather follow the one where it's legal to hit your wife,
Yeah.
or where everyone is created equal before the eyes of the Lord?
Right.
Would you rather follow the one where Jesus comes and dies for you? Well, we can take the name Jesus out, where God comes and dies for you for your sins. Or would you rather be the one on the other side where you have to do all the work?
Yeah.
Would you rather? You could just go on and on.
What would you rather? Would you rather have an ideology and a faith that says, "I am secure in God. I don't hold on to Him; He holds on to me," or I never know where I stand
Never.
with Allah.
No.
I'm as a Muslim, I am never certain that Allah loves me,
No. Because he doesn't.
because He doesn't, nor does He claim to.
How about one wife and one husband?
Yeah,
Not multiple wives.
right.
For men.
And one of those
Islam.
wives can't be 12.
Well, that's a whole other.
That's part of Sharia law.
It is part of Sharia law that it's actually younger than 12.
Well, yeah,
But the fact that this is so infiltrated to the point where a city arrests 3 people for spreading the gospel, again, they're acquitted, but those 3 people still had to go through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And those 3 people still had to sue.
probably had spent a couple nights in jail, or at least one,
Oh, they definitely spent a night in jail.
for handing out a piece of paper with the gospel on it.
Yeah. And churches all over the place will say nothing
Yeah,
as the enemy is at the gates.
yep.
It's mind-boggling to me, the weakness of the modern church.
Behind the veil of, I don't do politics, I just do Jesus. Well, you know what, fella? Jesus had a whole lot to say about false religion.
Oh, the whole Bible has a whole lot to say about false religion.
And so,
Jesus walked straight up to the Pharisees.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
He said, "You have created a false religion."
So how in the world can we justify as pastors sitting silent on legislation that directly affects religion in America?
Yeah, and people have got to get past this whole hate thing. I don't hate it. Believe it or not, I really don't hate anybody. I'm too busy for that.
Yeah.
I don't.
It wears people out.
Most people don't even notice. I got attacked by a dog 2 weeks ago, and I didn't even take a day off. I was back at it the next morning because I couldn't stop. I just wrapped up my.
And you were trying to do a good thing.
I was trying to do a good thing, but it didn't work out for me. But it wasn't.
You weren't trying to steal anybody's tomatoes. You were trying to do a good thing.
No, I was trying to foster a dog, and it didn't work
And
out.
it turned
so well.
around and bit you.
Pretty good too. Yeah, I don't have time for that. It takes a lot of time and effort to hate somebody. I don't have time for that.
No.
This isn't about hate. This is about showing people the facts and what is going on, and that this is a false ideology that you really don't want to get caught up in.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, and it makes fanatics out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's oppressive. You know, people cry all day long about oppression, this and that and the other. Please go to a fundamentalist Muslim country. You will see real oppression.
Yeah. Yeah.
For real oppression, not this fake micro. You looked at me weird.
Yeah. He hurt
I mean,
my
I
psyche.
look at everybody weird, but I'm just an odd guy. But but that's what you hear here. Like, and you will hear churches. Wow, I don't want to talk about this because I might upset somebody. Yeah, you might. You think Jesus never upset somebody?
Of course.
You think the Apostle Paul never upset anybody?
Absolutely.
To
did.
this day, he's still upsetting Christians. Paul is.
Yeah.
There are people that go to church and who will never read Paul. Now, we can argue if they're Christians or not. I'm not trying to go down that road. I'm just saying, that,
right. No, I get that. Sure. Yeah.
like that's how much he upset people.
Yeah.
Read 2 Corinthians. Good gracious.
How many times have you had to tell people, "Hey, I'm just a messenger"? Of course, I guess Paul could have said the same thing. Hey, man, I'm just telling you what the Holy Spirit said.
You know what I always wonder when I read 2 Corinthians is I wonder what the person who was delivering that letter thought.
Yeah.
Like he hands it to them. Like, did he wait there for them to read it? Or did he read it beforehand and he was like, oh my goodness, I'm dropping this
outta
and
here,
going.
man. I'm getting back on my Harley and getting out of here. I've often wondered though, I wonder what a letter from the Apostle Paul to churches today would look like.
Oh my goodness. It wouldn't, because if you read his epistles, a lot of them are kind of structured the same,
Mhm.
even if they're quote unquote mean. I don't think we'd have the nice part.
No.
Like, I don't think he would start with dear American Church or whatever.
Yeah, I like you for these reasons.
Yeah.
He would start with, you have no good quality.
Yeah. I think he might send some individual letters like,
Yeah.
hey, you're going to see this really big letter, but this is one's for you guys.
Yeah, this is a special delivery. Yeah.
I mean, we could all do better, but all right, so we have selective enforcement going on all over the place. And why does this affect Virginia? Why does Dearborn, Michigan, all the way out there affect Virginia? So first off, one thing, if they've already taken over one city, if you don't think it's going to happen somewhere else,
Yeah.
you're mistaken.
Yep.
In Virginia, we already have a Muslim lieutenant governor
Mm-hmm.
who didn't debate.
Nope.
No one even, I don't know what she did the whole campaign.
I should have sent Dan a video of her, where she was standing on the back of a truck during her campaign, yelling out of a bullhorn. You've experienced it. I don't know if did you ever go to the Senate with me or just the House?
Just the House.
Oh my heavens! Talk about snooze fest.
Ugh.
Listen to her talk. I mean, she's an absolute monotone woman. But there was a video out there where she's standing on the back of a truck, yelling out of a bullhorn, and you really can't understand what she's saying. But what's germane to this is there's a letter. She's got a sign in the back of the truck. It says "Rest in Peace, Constitution." Now, she's the Attorney General. I mean, she's the Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and her attitude is the Constitution needs to die. And the sad reality is that's the pathway to Sharia law.
Well, yeah, you have to take down the whole Constitution.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't tell me that's not their desire.
Because I'm pretty sure Amendment 1 is free speech
Yeah.
and
That's
free
definitely
exercise
yeah,
clause.
That's definitely not Sharia law.
And
yeah.
that is, yeah. Because
Yeah.
you can't speak out. All these people, again, you can't speak against the Quran. You better dare not speak against Muhammad.
Yeah.
And you better not speak against Allah. There goes your free speech.
Yep.
Right out the window.
Yep.
So SB 624 from Senator Salim. I think I said that right.
Senator Snooze Sully.
Yeah, so just so everyone's aware, we do sometimes do some research beforehand. So I should have made a joke while you were. I really wanted to pull some clips of him testifying for this. We might try to do something with the clips later. It is super boring, and he couldn't answer any questions, and it took over 10 minutes for them to even attempt to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go with no video for this. So I apologize. I honestly tried. I watched over 10 minutes of it, and it was brutal. But so first off, he's going to classify Islamophobia as its own thing. We'll get to that in a second. To be clear, hate crime is already a charge in which all religion and and all that stuff is already covered.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely no need for SB 624 whatsoever.
No.
None.
No.
It does not need to exist. I always like to, well, he's got it up on the screen, so let's go through it, and then I'll ask you my hate crime question, because I want to hear your answer. So what this does is it adds to the assault and battery charge with an Islamophobia penalty. And it relates to the crime of assault and battery as malicious prejudice or hatred directed toward Islam or Muslims. And here's the great part. This definition applies regardless of whether the victim is actually a practitioner of Islam. So now it starts to make even less sense. Provided, now we're talking about thought crimes, because look what it says. Provided the perpetrator targeted that such victim based on a perceived adherence to such faith. How on earth do you prove perceived adherence or perceived? It just means you think that they were Muslim. How do you prove that in court? Right. To me, this seems like it makes it like more difficult to. Anyway, the bill also clarifies that the religious conviction includes Islam. The bill directs here's the part that really gets me. The bill directs the Department of State Police, in consultation with the Office of Attorney General, and I have no idea what this office does, diversity, equity, and inclusion, to include the bill's definition of Islamophobia in its hate crime reporting central repository.
Okay.
This is what our government is doing.
Yeah.
They're creating laws for something that already exists, but why does he create one for Islam? There's not one for Christians.
No.
He didn't create an extra one for Jews.
No. And
He's done. I was gonna make a really bad joke.
well, I think
I just derailed the whole thing. He's not creating it for other categories.
Dan, just take us off here.
Yeah, Dan just got us.
Yeah, well, I think when you and I first started talking about this, when we first saw that hit again for this year, I remember us talking, and I said to you, that I would go to him and I would say, and I still plan on doing this. Okay, let's rearrange this bill a little bit. If you want to put in Islamophobia, okay, put in a anti-Semitism clause or an anti-Christian clause. And if you won't do it, Senator, why? Why do you need 18.2-57 to specifically name Islam? Because the fact is that the law says, just like you've already said it, the law says that if you assault someone because of their religion, it already lays out what the penalties are.
Yeah.
So why do you need Islam particularly named in this law?
Yeah.
Because that's the direction that they want to take our country. That's the direction they want to take our Commonwealth.
Special treatment.
Yeah. And I'm glad that it got continued, but I'm also frustrated that it got continued because those other senators should have said, this is ridiculous. No, we're not doing this. You're already protected in general. You don't need to be named specifically.
Yeah, why didn't they just kill it? I don't know. But to be fair to, I believe it was Serville, he did try to explain that this isn't needed.
Well, I'm shocked that Serville would say that.
I can't remember exactly which one it was, but one of them definitely tried to explain that this isn't needed. Why put forth a bill defining Islamophobia?
Yeah.
If you're not looking for special treatment, if you're looking to be part of this country.
Right. And the interesting part is, if you read the bill, it defines Islamophobia for you in the bill. Quote, malicious prejudice or hatred directed toward Islam or Muslims.
Yeah.
However, guess what the bill does not define? It does not define what is malicious and hatred and hateful. So, does not define malicious, does not define prejudice, does not define hatred. So, does that mean that if this were to pass, does that mean that if I say something that's against Islam, then I could be guilty of a class 1 misdemeanor, which is 12 months in jail or $2,500 fine? Because it doesn't define malicious prejudice or hatred as a physical act.
Well, if we go back to Sharia law, what are you not allowed to do? You're not allowed to speak against Muhammad.
Exactly. But if you go back to the Quran, you are allowed to attack and kill until their blood is shed the enemies of Islam.
Infidels, yeah, that's what
Which
you
is
are.
which is basically anybody that's not a Muslim.
Yeah. You're an infidel.
Yeah. Not you don't even have to be a Christian to be an infidel. You just be
not
American.
Muslim. Yeah, just not Muslim.
Yeah.
No. It's just anybody. Yeah, an infidel is really simple to explain. It's just anybody that's not a Muslim. You're an infidel. This is what our Senate is spending time on.
Yeah.
Defining Islamophobia and reporting it to the state police and, good gracious, whatever in the world the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion does. What's their budget?
Oh, my stars. I wish we had it.
What do they even do? What do they have to do with law enforcement? Why is it reported to them?
I think that was a branch that Spanberg
waste
created.
So much money. Like the amount of money we waste. I'm going to go off on a different quick tangent, but all these people that are mad because people got billions of dollars, we literally light money on fire.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's just some person sitting in an office somewhere with DEI or whatever else, environmental concerns plastered on the front of it, and they don't do anything all day.
Yeah. Well, let me explain to everybody what the current law is on violation of 18.2-57. Okay, the current law of Virginia basically says that ordinary simple assault or assault and battery is a class 1 misdemeanor, 12 months, $2,500 fine. Victim intentionally selected because of religion or another protected characteristic, class 1 misdemeanor with a sentence including at least 6 months. Biased motivated assault and battery causing bodily injury. That's a class 6 felony with a sentence including at least 6 months. Class 6 could carry up to 5 years in jail. Now, the problem with that is again, if you go back into the bill, it does not define what is malicious, prejudiced, or hatred. So, as I said before, could we carry this to where my words that I say, okay, I speak out against Islam, you and I at a sermon, or any other pastor at a sermon speaks out against Islam, would that be under the heading of Islamophobia? Because they don't define what malicious prejudice or hatred is, but Islamophobia is defined as malicious prejudice or hatred directed toward Islam or Muslims. Could they consider our words against their religion?
Well, I think this is round one, right?
Yeah.
SB 624. So if you look at everything that they're doing, whether it's the Muslims or whether if you look at the abortion, I try to go 1 week without talking about it. If you look at anything of the progressive stuff, because it's so against what this country has been founded on for 250 years, you have to. So Islamophobia, the reason they're doing this is because, well, we need to be protected because people are targeting us. We are the victims. Mm-hmm. We are not the ones that are doing any harm to anyone, right? We are just living peacefully, and you guys are coming after us, so we need special protection. And so they put these things in here so that then all the people, oh my gosh, we can't hate anybody and this and that, right? And so now it starts again. It's different levels
Right.
that they're working towards. So this is the first step.
Yeah.
Where Michigan's at, where we played the clip of Pastor Lorenzo, they're way down the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're probably a lot closer to Sharia law than people think.
Oh, yeah.
But here in Virginia, this is the first step to formally, because it's a bill, right? To formally say, hey, we have to be protected. We have to have a protected, we're separate from you. Because what's the ideology? You're either Muslim or not. Mm-hmm. To answer your question of why the other religions are not in this bill, how come there's not one for Christians or for the Jews or for the Hindus or whatever else you practice, right? Buddhism, mysticism, New Age, whatever it is, because we're all unclean. They get special treatment. Yeah. No one else does.
Right.
Why do the mosques in Michigan get to play their prayer calls before 7 a.m. despite a local noise ordinance? Because they're special.
Yeah.
They don't have to follow the same rules. They don't look at you as an equal. When you and I hang out together, outside of the show, well, I've always thought anytime a Christian, I see everybody as equals.
Mm-hmm.
You believe in Christ? Cool. We're fast friends. You don't believe in Christ? Cool. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
We're all equal. We all stand before the Lord because what does the Bible teach? We're all sinners.
Right.
They don't teach that.
No.
They teach we are better than you. You are death to America and all this other stuff, right? Women are subservient to men. Man, Christian, I get so much stuff about that part of Christianity, about the patriarchy, and we can explain all that if you want, but I tell you what, the patriarchy in the Bible is a whole lot different than the patriarchy in the Quran.
Yes.
And so they do this to show, to get those seeds planted because it's something down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the mistake Republicans make. This is the mistake Christians make. Well, historically speaking, Islam has waged war on the world.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth.
I mean, from the very first moments of our national history, by the time Thomas Jefferson was our fifth president, Will, and you know this, everybody's heard of the Treaty of Tripoli.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time Thomas Jefferson, of course, John Adams, our second president, he was the founder of the Navy. When he was president, get this, Will, 15% of the federal budget was going to pay the Muslims off of the coast of South Africa to stop attacking our ships. And but he wouldn't use. They sent Franklin and Jefferson to be for some diplomacy, and they would ask the leaders there, well, why are you doing this? And they basically said, well, because that's what our Quran says. Mm-hmm. That's what we're supposed to do. And by the time Jefferson became president, about 20% of the federal budget was being used to pay off Muslims so that they wouldn't attack our ships. And then Jefferson said, "Phooey on this, I've got a Navy, I'm going to use it." And he went down there and squashed them. But so you're right.
Yeah.
The mindset is death to the infidel.
Yeah.
Why do you think why do people think? I mean, listen, I used to get so I was so frustrated because this really started coming to light in a lot of people's mind at 9/11. People really started giving another or maybe even a deeper thought to it. And it used to frustrate me when I would hear our president at the time, George W. Bush, say things like, well, this was an extreme wing of Islam and does not represent fundamental Islam, does not represent fundamental Islamic teaching. Yeah, it does. They're doing exactly what Islam teaches them to do. They're doing exactly what the Quran says to do.
Yeah. Well, look at it on a broad scale. What the stated goal of Islam is to do what? To be the world religion. They tried conquest, and it didn't go well. It did for a bit, to be fair.
All right.
But it didn't go well long term. It's not a long term strategy. You're not going to conquer the world through military conquest. People have tried since Cain and Abel. It's really hard to fight that many fronts, logistically speaking. And so what they do, they exported people.
Mm-hmm.
And again, look at the difference between Islam and Christianity. What is the stated goal of Christianity? To go make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, all that good stuff, right? Teaching them to obey all of Jesus' commands. Look at the ways that are gone about it, though. We send missionaries to go places to make those places better and to spread the gospel. To help with doctors, to help with food, whatever it is in the particular area. What does Islam do? They export out people that are consistently on government aid.
Mm-hmm.
They take over. Listen when they tell you that they're going for Sharia law. They're not kidding.
No.
Look at the difference of the two things. Just on that front alone, it's massively different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christ is there to help people, and he's also Senator Salim also was with the 2A bills.
Oh yeah, he definitely wants to unarm you.
It's mind-boggling to me when people tried to separate it out.
And it's like, and if I were, it's no excuse. And what happens with what happens with a lot of these senators and delegates is not all, but many of the ones, especially on the left, but even some that are on the Republican, they will snooze themselves into Sharia law.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they just absolutely turn a blind eye and a deaf ear towards something that is smacking them in the face. And
he also, by the way, did the gas-powered leaf blowers.
that's supposed to come back too. I don't know if they've refiled that yet or not.
Oh, I had to check. I didn't check that one. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Yeah, you're right. We're just going to snooze our way to Sharia law. We're going to wake up one day, and your women are going to have to walk 3 feet behind you.
Well, where were you invited to go last week?
Oh man, yeah, I got invited to go to a Republican Muslim thing, and I vehemently said no.
Yeah, but the point is, the Republican Party of Virginia is trying to get into a relationship with Islam.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
And they're snoozing their way to Sharia law.
Yeah. It is not compatible.
No.
Charlie was 1,000% correct. Charlie Kirk. Mm-hmm. It's not compatible. It's an entirely different system. It's not the same God. It is not the same teachings.
Right. But this bill
starts it.
Because the way they define Islamophobia, if you were to say that or I were to say that in a public square, we could be charged based on the language at first with a class 1 misdemeanor. And because they don't define their terms. They just make these blanket statements but yet don't define their terms. And so if you and I were to make a statement in public anti Islam, then that could be considered hate speech.
No, let's back up. Well, and that's how free speech is going to get taken away.
Yeah.
Hate speech. Oh, I want to close with my question because we're trying hard to honor people's time. But by the way, one quick point. You want to know how free speech is going to get taken away? It's by this stuff.
Yes.
Hate.
Yeah.
And this and that. But again, it's only for protected people. So here's my question for you, because it's one I wonder about often. Mm-hmm. Is my head is weird, my brain. Is not all crime hate?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone lovingly rob someone's house.
No.
Why did we do? Because I wanted to get your, because I like I like your opinions, but also because you have a legal background as well. Why do we separate? So philosophically, I think I know why we separate between crime, like I go rob someone's house, and crime of I robbed someone's house because they were a Jew or Muslim or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other one we soften it, and then we can do things like, well, maybe Will was just hungry, and there's a reason why he did this, and we can be soft on crime, but then we have these other categories where, well, we don't want, but is not every crime
Yeah.
a form of hate? Why do we need? Couldn't we just prosecute crimes and
Yeah.
not have?
Yeah. And instead of, but what we're doing is we've got bills, a useless bill in, trying to reclassify or add to 18.2-57 Islamophobia.
Yeah.
But at the other end of the spectrum, we have Ray Cousins trying to take away mandatory minimums for over 300 felonies. And then you've got the left trying to get restoration of rights for those felons. So, all crime is hate crime.
That's my. Is that too simple?
No, it's not too simple at all. All crime is hate crime.
I don't think I've ever seen someone mug someone and be like, "Oh, I love you, though."
Yeah, I love you, man.
Don't turn me in for a hate crime.
I'm gonna knock you off the top of your head and steal your car, but I love you, man.
Good gracious.
No, it's all hate crime.
Yeah, all of it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, I'm for everyone just being protected under the current laws.
Yeah.
There is absolutely zero reason anyone should be spending their time on SB 624 and defining Islamophobia because it's already covered.
Yeah. Well, then let's be honest for our viewers. Let's make sure we get this straight. We are against somebody being targeted because they are a Muslim.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like we are against somebody being targeted because they are a Jew or they're a Hindu.
Yeah.
Okay. We believe no one should be the victim of a crime and the person and the perpetrator not be punished, whether it was because of their religion or because they were homosexual. I'm not for violence to homosexuals, even though I'm against the homosexual movement. I'm not in favor of violence against homosexuals. But guess what that is? Sharia law.
Oh yeah, they'll toss you off a roof.
So the same party that's trying to push the LGBTQ plus community message is also the same party trying to push Islam, which is going to bring in Sharia law, which is the exact opposite of the other side.
Brother, can I tell you, I really try to empathize with people, and I'm not always good at it, but I honestly do try to understand other people's point of view because I try to let people talk.
Mm-hmm.
I have stopped trying to figure out the logic of the left. It is so confusing.
Well, I have figured out the logic of the left.
What is it?
I was at the hospital Saturday. My third son and his wife gave birth to my ninth grandbaby on Saturday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Peyton Grace.
It's a good name.
Yeah. And as I was talking to her, and she was looking at me cross-eyed and drooling, I said, that's the logic of the left.
We should have done
You thought I was going to say something serious, didn't you?
I thought you had.
You thought I had some type of serious revelation.
Yeah, I thought you had some kind of insight. That's really good.
It's well, if you could put a name on the logic, it's anti-God. It's a hatred of God.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's anti-God, and it's just all over the place.
Yeah.
Like I have, and by the way, I do want to close on a positive note for Muslims, because I very much believe in the Great Commission,
Mm-hmm.
and I have seen people. I don't like to say that I brought people to Christ. I don't think that's an appropriate thing to say. Jesus does all that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I have talked to Muslims about Jesus, and I have seen Jesus work in a Muslim country before. And let me tell you something. You want to watch people get on fire for Christ? It's those people.
Mm.
Because especially if you're in a Muslim country, guess what you just did? when you come to Christ. You just put a death warrant.
Yes.
You just signed a death warrant. And all these Christians that are here that are not speaking out against Islam and the dangers of it, talk to somebody who is from there
Yeah.
that is now a Christian. Them, their families, their lives are all at risk, and they do it anyway.
Yeah.
I remember one time, I'll tell a story real quick and then we'll do some plugs. One time I was in a Muslim country and I was talking to this guy, he was a cab driver, and I was telling him about Jesus and all this and kind of what Jesus had done in my life. And I wasn't great. I don't know how good of an evangelist I am. I like the teaching part and the disciple part. Anyway, so I was telling him about Jesus and how he had made my life so much different, how I was sober and all these different things. And I said, well, let's pray. And, I appreciate the ride and, I'm not, I didn't get shot or anything. So thank you. And so we prayed and it went on the way. And I said, hey, just pray tonight. Just do that for me. And so anyway, the next morning I see the guy, we're having coffee. Me and a couple other people were having coffee. And I see the guy come, like he's driving his car really fast. And he comes running at me. And I'm like, oh no. Like, I said the wrong thing. Like, we're in trouble. And the security thing, blinks on in your head,
Yeah, yes.
This is a long time ago, by the way. And he comes running, and so everything was safe. And he's like, you have to tell Jesus to leave me alone. And we were like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I prayed. And I can't stop thinking about Jesus, and I can't stop thinking about what he did for us on the cross.
Wow.
And I this is bad for him though. And he came to Christ and
Amen.
But he comes screaming down the road so excited, he didn't know what to do, because Allah is all about, think about what their highest thing is, 72 virgins. That's their highest reward. That's a carnal reward.
Yeah.
Now, under Christianity, we would say that's lust and that's sin. We can all agree on that. But at the end of the day, regardless, it's a carnal reward. The glory of heaven, though, that we only get glimpses of in the Bible, is an eternal reward.
Right.
And there's a very big difference in those two teachings
Yeah.
that I hope more pastors realize what exactly it is we're up against.
Yeah.
Because this isn't something that, like we started with, what is it going to take? We stayed quiet during abortion, and now look where we're at.
Yep.
We got an amendment coming up that's going to let it go all the way until birth. I would argue partial birth.
Yep. It's the next step. Absolutely. Or not the next step. That'll be allowed in what they're...
That'll be allowed. That's
what the current language is, yeah.
Yeah, the current language, in my opinion, allows
Yeah.
partial birth abortion. We have a marriage amendment that will redefine gender, that will redefine marriage, that will redefine what parents are forever.
Yeah.
Not forever, but on earth.
Yeah.
And we say nothing. What is it going to take? Is it going to take that our wives have to... Because this is a law where I was at 3 feet behind you.
All right.
A woman has to walk. They can't walk next to you. Is that what it's going to take?
Yeah. Right.
Your wife can't leave the house without a man, and that man can be a boy? Because where I was at, that was the rule.
Yeah.
An 8-year-old could come walk his mom, but his mom, 40 or whatever age, couldn't walk by herself.
Yeah.
Is that what it's going to take?
Right.
What is it going to take? Some pastors have massive platforms, thousands of people every single Sunday.
Yep.
What's it going to take? That church closes down because it's not Sharia? Is that what it takes? That the remnant meets in houses under secrecy? Because that's what happens in Muslim countries. They meet under secrecy.
Yeah. Well, when they had to meet in the catacombs, they surely took their relationship with Jesus Christ much more serious. than we do today.
Maybe that's what it is. don't know.
And why were they in the catacombs? Because of persecution.
Yeah.
So like you said at the top of the show, it may take some good old-fashioned persecution to wake pastors up.
Yeah.
To wake churches up.
We're not called to be weak.
No.
Meekness does not mean you're weak. Turn the other cheek does not mean you're weak.
Well, the same Christ who said turn the other cheek flipped the tables over in the temple.
Yeah.
The same Christ that said love your enemies said to the Pharisees, you're a generation of vipers. You're like a whitewashed sepulcher. You're nice and clean on the outside, but inside you're full of dead man's bones. It's the same Christ.
Yeah.
And so there is a balance that, okay, and who was Jesus Christ more harsh on? He was more harsh on those that are religious, those in authority, those that should have known better. He wasn't as hard on the prostitute.
No.
What did he tell the prostitute? I don't condemn you. Go and sin no more.
Yeah.
And who did he send away? He sent away the people with the stones in their hands, who were the religious people. And we don't know what he wrote in the sand, but I like to think that he was probably writing their individual sins.
That's what I like to think too.
And because the Bible says they left one by one, starting with what was the youngest up to the oldest. And but whatever he was writing in the sand, it was purposeful and it got their attention. But he was the most stern on those people that should have known better. And our senators in Richmond should know better. Our Republican Party should know better, but they're going to snooze themselves into Sharia law.
Yeah, I agree. I also like to think he was writing their sins.
Yeah. That preaches well.
It does preach really well, but I just
very well could be.
I just really like picturing it because he does tell them in that part of the Gospels, he does say, you're right. Those without sin, go ahead, cast the first stone. And then he starts writing.
Let me remind you. Yeah, go ahead. Those without sin, let me cast the first stone. But let me remind you of something.
Yeah.
Ooh, let me get out of here. And I've often thought of, before we go, about that story. What did they say in that story? He called her in the very act.
Yeah.
How did they do that? I've always preached that it was a Pharisee who got her in a compromising situation.
Oh, that's interesting because they don't pull the man because they also messed up the law because the man's supposed to be taken as well.
Yep.
Some people forget that sometimes. So from the very beginning, the Pharisees messed up that law, but I never thought about that. Maybe it was a Pharisee.
It was a Pharisee that she was having relations with. That's why they didn't bring the man.
That's pretty good. I never thought about it like that. I always just go with you're supposed to bring the but read the Old Testament. The entire Old Testament is basically a thesis on idolatry.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're in right now, idolatry.
Yep.
All right. Just a reminder, what we got coming up, live events. What we got? September 3rd, next Thursday night. Christ and Culture with our good friends over at TPUSA Faith at the River of Life Church at the youth building. It's the first. If you've never been to that church, by the way, when you pull into the parking lot, I'll tell you exactly where it is. It's on the left-hand side, right-hand side. No, don't listen to me. I just ruined it.
Yeah, you got everybody confused.
When you pull in, it's on the right-hand side. You can't miss it. That's at River of Life, September 3rd at 7 p.m. These are all both of us. TPUSA of Northern Neck. Actually, a few of us will be there for that one. That's 4 p.m. on September 12th at 4 p.m. And it's Kilmarnock, Virginia. I hope I said that right.
Kilmarnock.
Is that what it is?
I think I said you can pronounce it Kilmarnock.
I'm sorry if I mispronounced it and you're listening. I really love the Northern Neck. They're
Colleen
awesome
is
out
probably
there.
listening.
Yeah, she does listen, so I'm sorry. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to come back to the Northern Neck.
It's beautiful down there.
Fantastic people out there.
Mm-hmm.
September 17th, Thursday night, 7 p.m., we'll be at Benchmark Baptist with Pastor Allen. He is also awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have all this stuff up on the socials, but I just want to make sure we get it out now because sometimes I get busy and forget to post stuff on the socials. And September 18th, the very next night, we are at Crossroads Baptist Church. And Christ and Culture at Life Church in Mechanicsville. October 2nd, which is a Friday at 7 p.m. So we are hitting the road. It's not just for the amendments. We're going to be going places even after the election is over.
Because the left always does something that we got to argue.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it never stops. So if you have any questions, you can send us an email. Check out thekingdompolitics.org. All the information is there that you need. We got some other really exciting stuff. This is called a tease I learned in radio, even though it's a podcast. We got really exciting stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks for announcement-wise of things we've got going on in the background. And to everyone who watches and listens, we thank you very much.
Yes.
And everybody that helps us. There's a whole lot of people that help us.
Yes.
That nobody even knows about. And we're not going
you.
to say their names because I don't even think they want that. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much. We wouldn't want to run the risk of not mentioning somebody's name, so we just not going to mention their names.
That's true, too.
Just thank you.
And like and subscribe. My good friend Dan hit us with some Spurgeon on the way out.
And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? And I said, Here am I. Send me.
Rise up, Christ one. Only bow to his throne, Satan. Trying to temper, he ain't loud in my home. All fact, keep it real. Spirit send me not alone. I ain't flexing for the